for coming out to show your solidarity for persons who have lost their lives due to violence, domestic violence in particular. I have a very special young lady that actually I invited her to sing a song. And we also have another special young lady who's going to grace us with poetry. As you know, domestic violence is an illness. It's wrong. It's something that we all must continue to shout out and say there's no excuse for abuse. Safe Haven has been around a long time, and Safe Haven has been shelter, refuge for many women and their children on St. Martin. And we definitely need the support of everyone in the community to continue to spread the word and to spread hope. Because we have many women, as you can see, the turnout here tonight is not plenty. And this has been an issue, a plague for many years. It's not just tonight. You know, we have organized this march numerous times, and always you see the turnout. It's not what you expect it to be. And that's simple because a lot of us in the community still see domestic violence and speaking out against domestic violence as a taboo. It's a taboo subject. It is something that people are afraid to talk about. Basically, they're ashamed. We had a panel discussion on Monday evening, and similar turnout. However, it was struck such a very good panel discussion because so much was shared with those who were there about how you can actually help victims. And one of our first questions was, why is domestic violence on St. Martin such a taboo? And it basically boiled down to pride. You know, we're ashamed to talk about it. We're ashamed to come out and say that it has affected us. We're ashamed to say it has affected someone close to us. But the truth of the matter is, if we don't speak out about it, if we don't speak out against it, it will continue happening. We have to start with all of these little ones that we see here this evening. We have to start encouraging them and teaching them that violence is not acceptable. And that's for me where we start, you know, and it starts from simple little things as small arguments, small fights that we may consider to be a culture thing. Because just the other day I was having that discussion that we all think it's okay to, you know, beat the child, and we say, well, you know, we got licks when we were growing up and we turned out okay. And I always say, who said we turned out okay? You know, whose perception? You know, it's all, everyone has a different opinion on that. But of course, if we continue to feel that it's okay, we continue that cycle that abuse and violence is acceptable. And that's how we start to make that change and that difference, by starting with all of the small children here today. I don't want to say too much because I can talk on and on about this topic. I just want to thank all of you once again for coming out and showing your support for Safe Haven. And now I'm going to have Michelle Nicholas, who is one of the winners of St. Martin Interscholastic Idol Competition, actually the Cycle 2 competition, grace us with a song that she thinks is very appropriate for this cause. So give her a round of applause, Miss Michelle Nicholas.
Events commenced on Friday, November 20th, with the official ceremony at the Bel Air Community Center, featuring government, dignitaries, and very inspirational presentations by various schools. The activities continued later in the afternoon with a youth rally, which ended right here at the Government Administration Building, and that was held under the theme of the Blue Ribbon, Team Blue Ribbon, and the Department of Sports. This is the first rally of its kind, and we aim in future rallies to have the participation of as many schools as possible. The theme of that rally was concerned with youth and child abuse, and so all of the participants projected that on their t-shirts, and that said, it should not hurt to be a child. The Team Blue Ribbon was the winners of the Youth Desk Innovation Competition. The annual movie night will be held or hosted by the St. Martin Promoting Young Ambassadors, also held their movie. It will be at the Bel Air Community Center. The St. Martin Early Childhood Development hosted their sports day. That was very interesting to see all the toddlers taking part, as well as their parents, in several activities on Saturday. The weekend was filled with activities, and this weekend, actually, there will be a On November 27th, a panel discussion hosted by the Voice of Our Children, a youth foundation, at the Bel Air Community Center at 9 a.m., as well as a public meeting later in the evening at 5 by the St. Martin Youth Parliament, which will be at the Parliament building under the theme also, Strong Families Nurture Strong Societies. The reason I bring this forward in the press briefing is that opening the papers subsequent to these activities, I still see the front pages hosting all the negative news on St. Martin. And I would like to commend our young people for what they do. And as a society, we can do our part as stakeholders by highlighting this in the media. So I take this opportunity to do so, as I'm very, very proud of what the youth department has been doing and continues to do in building the awareness of the community as well as of the youth on the issues that pertain to them. One of the major highlights coming up will be the Sports Day, and it is a friendly games hosted by the Department of Sports, Youth Affairs, and the French Collectivité. This year we'll be joined by Anguilla, St. Eustatius, which is regular, but also for the first time by St. Bart's. Over 300 athletes will be taking part at the Raoul Ehrlich Sports Complex on December 28th, 2015. The final activity for the Rights of the Child program will be a Christmas party for the invited children on December 13th. So quite a full list of activities for youth affairs and the other stakeholders as it pertains to highlighting the rights of our children. More information can also be found on our Facebook page, and I look forward to seeing even more participation by the community. Is a Thanksgiving service which is scheduled for Sunday, December 6th. More information will be forthcoming on this, but it will be held right here at the Clem LaBega Square, and it is at 4:30 p.m. As usual, at the end of our hurricane season, we give thanks as we are a Christian community, and the Department of Culture is charged with the organization thereof. More information will be brought to you on this in this respect, and I'd also like to inform the general public that we are still in the assessment phase, as the Prime Minister has noted, of the various aspects and priorities within the ministry to be able to mesh with the governing program that we have established and to make sure that the rights of all the people on St. Martin are executed in the shortest time possible.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Anybody bingo? Nobody bingo.
renovation. That's no problem. Yes, it's true. That's not all. They're quick and friendly too. Island Finance. Appliances, vacations, even fix your car. You can depend on Island Finance. Here we go.
This is freedom, this is life. Happiness is all I'm seeking. Carpe diem, I'm seizing every day, not just the weekend. Here's to all the good times that have come to last. Here's to living in the now.
When you can afford what you crave, life just gets so
So
good.
alive and I'm feeling good, so good, so good, so good. Hey, I'm gonna live my life feeling good, so good, real good, so
KFC, so good for everyone.
The intention, as I said, is that the government is putting an amendment to the national decree of October 29. So the original decree was of October 28. It was withdrawn and replaced by one on the 29th. The national decree as stands now on the 29th calls for the dissolution of parliament, but the decree goes into effect on the 15th of December. So that in itself raises some questions as to the validity of some of the actions that are undertaken now, in the sense that the decree is not yet into effect. So it's like you tell somebody, I'm going to appoint you to, you will become the Prime Minister of St. Martin on the 15th of December, and the person in question begins to operate as if he or she is the Prime Minister of St. Martin already. But that appointment goes into effect on the 15th of December. In this case, there's a national decree that goes into effect on the 15th of December. What we are looking at is, the decree also says that there was ship jumping from the beginning of 2010. It continues into 2014 following the elections, and they want to address it. It has to stop. So we are saying, before you hold an election, you should address those issues, whether it is in the electoral laws, whether in the Constitution, whether the Electoral Council have things that need to fix everything that needs fixing, and then hold the election. So the decree is, in essence, remaining the same, with the exception that in the decision, in the resolution, we are saying that we withdraw the October 29 decree until, so the date for election is being postponed until these things are fixed. When these things are fixed, then a new date for the election will be set. That's what it is. Then, as far as the car fleet is concerned, government has 7 ministers, and there were 7 MR number plates and vehicles, MR1 through MR7. MR1 is a vehicle that is some 10 years old, I believe, between 9 to 10, if not longer. It's here since in the days of former Governor Franklin, Lieutenant Governor Franklin Richards. Then we had Acting Governor Groeneveld for 1 year. Then we had the Prime Minister Westcott Williams for 4 years, and then now we had Prime Minister Marcel Gums for a year. So when you add that all up, it goes to at least some 8, 9, but I believe it's somewhere like 10 years ago the car was bought. Right now it's parked in the back of the premises and is not driving. When it drives, half of the time the airco is not working. So government has taken decisions already in the past to replace that and other vehicles in the fleet. Then you have MR6 supposedly has been missing in action, and there is no clear indication as to where it is. MR7 is down for repairs. MR2 is down for repairs. So there's several cars that are missing. The newest car in the fleet would be MR3. And apparently, from discussions and questions that were raised, the former Minister of Justice, when he came into office, everyone can recall, had had an accident with his personal vehicle at his home and was going through medical recovery. He asked government at the time to allow him to purchase a vehicle, and government would give him a car allowance in return, because the car that former Minister Roland Duncan used to have, that small little black Audi, I think it was, gave him difficulties because of the injuries that he had sustained. Government then said, no, government will purchase a vehicle just like is done for all ministers. And then the request was, well, then can I then at least purchase that vehicle at the value at the time, whenever in the future I would be leaving office, whether it was 1, 2, 3, or 4 years.
The reinstatement of our weekly press conference is something that should be recognized as well. This is a sign of our government being open, walking the walk. I think that it is the responsibility of government to communicate with the people on a regular basis and inform them as to what we're doing. So I think the reinstatement of the press conference is already newsworthy. In terms of my activities, I've been busy putting my office infrastructure into place. That's both physically. I came in and met no computers in my office and no internet, and so apparently this is typical in transitions of government, not something I'm used to. And I'm also in the process, obviously, of putting together a team in place of very capable, highly educated people to assist me in my work as a minister. I've been busy as well with introducing myself to the different departments within the ministry. So obviously I started with my meetings with my SG, Joy Arnell, and her support staff, Collective Preventive Services, as well as the Ambulance Department and the Department of Labor. I think the theme through all of the meetings has been that as minister, I believe that I should be empowering the staff to make decisions. They're the experts that have been there through the years, consistent in terms of their efforts in the community, and think that my job is there to support them and to empower them and to give guidance where possible, and obviously to support them in particular in our budgetary process. Participated in our first Council of Ministers meeting. It was very interesting for me, my first ever. I think that one of the priorities obviously is also balancing the budget, and so we've already initiated discussions about how we're going to make sure that we have money to run the country and to pay for the social services that the government is supposed to offer. And I think the tone of the meeting was wonderful, cooperative. I think it's clear as I have my discussions with the different departments, and this is also true for my years in private sector, it's very rare that any solution rests completely within one ministry. Very often the solutions to problems, for example, social problems, there's an educational component to it. There's obviously an economic component to it. In other words, if we're not creating the jobs, so if tourism isn't performing, it's not creating the tax revenues, it's not creating the jobs, it doesn't fund the educational programs, the schools don't get the computers or the internet access they need. So everything is very much interrelated. And so I must say that the tone of the meeting of the Council of Ministers meeting was excellent. My communications, for example, with the Minister of Tiat, my background obviously is in tourism. And we already have an agreement that I'm going to use what expertise I've gathered over the years to help support the ministry. So I think this idea of ministries in the past operating as silos, at least I didn't feel it within this government, and I'm very proud of that. So I'm happy to report that the Council of Ministers are working cooperatively.
On this weekend at the Port de Plaisance, November 28th, from 8 a.m. until 11 p.m., LCA Studios, together with Vid Media Solution, is organizing the St. Martin Fabulous Fashion Show and Dance. This fashion show will be highlighting St. Martin's top boutiques. We have an amount of 12 boutiques that will be taking part in this fashion show, and we have a total amount of 20 models plus. The idea between this fashion show is to actually highlight all of these boutiques on the island to show what they have for the upcoming season, for the New Year's, Christmas, and also up until Valentine's Day, the month of February. The event is organized, again, I must say, by LCA Studios and Vid Media Solutions. Part of the proceeds from this event will be donated to the Diabetes Foundation and also the Positive Foundation. The price for the tickets, we had a price set at $40, but we have dropped the prices so that we could get more people to come. The sales are going pretty good. So the tickets now are for $25 and $35 at the gate. The ticket outlets, SOS Radio, Van Dorp, Eden, both locations, Adolphus Richardson Supply, and also at Dolores Fashions on the back street. It's part of the proceeds. We have selected these two organizations because these two organizations has been for years now given the awareness on these two diseases, which is diabetes and breast cancer. And we saw it fit to this year, when the show is finished, to donate part of whatever we raise to those two organizations. I must say, putting on this show has been very strenuous on our side. We have not received any financial sponsor for this event. Everything is being done out of our pockets, but we must thank all of our sponsors who have helped us in the sense of promoting this event. PJD2, the Voice of St. Martin, SOS Radio, Summit Hotel, the Daily Herald. There's so much to mention that I don't want to miss out none. Pearl FM for sure, LBC TV, Channel 7, St. Martin Cable TV. All of these sponsors this far has helped us in one way or another, not financially, but giving us exposure. And through this medium, I also like to thank SXM News, you, Ricardo, for giving us this opportunity, for letting the general public know about this event. We're urging everyone to come out. It's going to be a night of fashion, a night of dance, a night that you won't forget. We are going over to make sure that everybody comes and enjoy this show.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
Anybody bingo? Nobody bingo.
And for this award, we will be honoring someone in the sport of baseball, and we would like to recognize Mr. Hamilton Richardson for this award.
Mr. Hamilton is one of the 500 most famous athletes in Europe. I personally never seen him play baseball myself, but I played against his teams that he coached in Holland. And the stories that I get from guys like Naldo Jacobs and Sam Jacobs and Carlito van Heiningen, who knew him and played against him in his younger days, were amazing. That he could have given anyone competition in baseball in the major leagues. In different tournaments where even a Hank Aaron came across, Hamilton was there giving him competition. And when you're honoring people, it's good to have the tape of what they did in the past so that we can see it. It's a pity that the tape that we constructed with Mr. Hamilton got a little skewed. But nevertheless, we are proud to honor him as one of our legends.
Thank you. Really great man. Thank you, crowd that come over to see this great presentation today. I had a lot of problems in my life. I live here, a little boy, lived to Curacao. And when I play ball there I learned to play baseball. I play baseball there. And with my success, the Curacaoian will say, "He knows that." So I played in Colombia for the World Championship, and there I was nominated to Best Outfielder in the world. So Joe Richardson, Rennie Richardson, sent a ticket for me to leave from Colombia to pass through Curacao, and my brother Slim came and picked me up at the airport, and we take a little walk in Punda, and it have a building there, the Yellow House, very famous jewelry store, and it had a banner there, Hamilton Richardson de no se ta. My brother Slim say, "No, into the no se ta," he said, "Mate ne ta."